So voltaic cells generate electricity from spontaneous reactions. We can also use electricity to drive otherwise non-spontaneous reactions that we may want to occur. So when we use an electrochemical cell for electrolysis, we call it an electrolytic cell. Sort of sounds like the word catalytic. So we're using electricity to cause this reaction to go. This is a spontaneous reaction. You combine hydrogen and oxygen, and it generates water. This is the basis of the fuel cell battery. It generates electricity. The reverse of that is not spontaneous. Two water molecules do not spontaneously come apart into hydrogen and oxygen gases, which is good. But we can make this occur if we pass an electric current through the water. You could actually try this at home by taking a 9-volt battery and dropping it into a glass of water. And you'll see little bubbles generated at each of the terminals. And what's happening is you're doing electrolysis of water, and you're breaking it into hydrogen and oxygen gases. Well, one of the problems that comes up with running cars on hydrogen is that there's just not a lot of hydrogen out there. There's a lot of oxygen in the air. There's just not that much hydrogen. So one way you can get around that is by using electrolysis. So what you can do is you can use either solar power or wind power to generate hydrogen from water. So you take the water and you run electricity through it that you get from wind or from solar power, and you collect the hydrogen and the oxygen gases. And then you take those and you put them into your car. And when you put them back together, they spontaneously react, generating electricity to power your car. So people are working on that, and maybe in the future they'll get it down to where it's a more efficient process, and that might help solve some of our pollution and energy problems. Here's an example of the electrolysis of water. Here they've got it hooked up to a battery outside the beaker of water, the wires here, and so you can see that it's generating twice as much hydrogen gas as it does oxygen gas. It's pretty neat. Another use for an electrolytic cell is for silver plating or any sort of electroplating. So here you take a battery and you're pushing electricity through the solution, and you're causing a non-spontaneous reaction to occur. Silver is not very reactive. But we can take this silver electrode, and this current source is going to pull electrons out of the silver and push them into this object where the silver will take them back again, but now the silver gets deposited on this object. So, like if your grandma has a teapot that's silver plated, it's not actually solid silver. It's much less expensive to take something that's a cheaper metal and just put silver on the outside where you can see it. Well, they do that in this way by electroplating it. And this is how they make bumpers, shiny chrome bumpers, and they do all kinds of stuff this way, electroplating.